Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Paul N Palz Podcast is brought to you by staying positive and never giving up.
Bye.
Here's your host, Paul, with Mr. William and Len Dukes.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another Paul N Palz Podcast. I'm your host, Paul. With me, as always, Mr. William Len Dukes. What's going on, gentlemen?
What up?
All right. Shout out, as always, to Clayton for the motivational things and all that other good stuff. Appreciate you, Clayton. Tip my hat to you. You can catch him on... Yeah. Hell yeah. You catch him on IG and TikTok at ClayB_3. Go check him out there. Again, all things motivation. I'm going to try to have that man on. We're going to try to work something out. Get him on there.
That'll be what's up.
Yeah. So what's going on, gentlemen? Everything all right? We're doing a new 2-week thing every other week. So, I feel like we missed the world in that week.
A lot has passed. But I'm good otherwise. How you guys doing?
Feeling good. Once again, as I said last time, just everybody has their thing that they're going through. So, we all going through whatever we're going through. We just try to make it out the other end in one piece.
No doubt.
I guess perfect segue. We're going to get into, it's been now 2 weeks, maybe going on 3. I don't know. It feels like forever ago, but we're going to go into the LOX versus Dipset thing because we need to get into that. I haven't had a chance to talk about it, so we're going to talk about that. But before we do, I want to harp on something. I'm not going to go to details. I'm not going to talk about the person. Just I know somebody in my life that's going through something. And again, like I just said, we all end up just going through something. Like everybody has whatever it is they're going through. But in talking to them, I just kind of realized that there are some rules that we need to follow, man. If somebody's trying to get themselves out of a hole, if somebody's trying to just better themselves in general, just whatever the case is, any form of elevation, there's just certain things that you just need to follow. It's kind of like the stock market. Like, these are the rules. If you don't fuck with these rules, nothing is not going to work. So, I just kind of put together a little semi-list, not in any type of order or anything like that. But, you know how it is, man. If you guys have anything to say on it, please chime in. Any examples, anything like that, please feel free. So like I said, if anybody's trying to change, anybody trying to do anything for the better, it's rough out here, man. I won't deny that. It's hard out here for everybody to get wherever they're going. That's kind of like what this life is, man. Like, one thing I learned, and I don't recommend people see things and do things the way I do it, because I'm just a backwards individual. So I don't ever recommend some things. My viewpoint in life is different than probably how it should be. But again, just like what life does to you. My viewpoint in life is it's not this rainbows and daffodils that people want to make life seem like. I say it has the possibility to be that. It has the possibility to be that. But more times than not, you have to earn that. And what I mean by that is, to me, like, I see life as just this constant battle, this never-ending war. And there's roads to the rainbows and daffodils and all that, and it's a road that we will take forever to try to get there. But there's the easy path to get there, and then there's the not so easy path. The easy path is the easy path. Clear roads, be ignorant to everything. Life is good and all this, but when shit does hit the fan, you're not going to be prepared for it. I preach that to my nephew because he's blessed, man. Every generation grows up a little bit better than the generation before. It's a little bit more of a struggle for me than it is to him. It was way more of a struggle for my parents than it was for me. That's just the nature of things. When you follow this easy path, it's either going to keep on going with no rainbows and daffodils at the end of it, or you're just going to fall off a cliff, or you're going to hit a wall. That hard path, that rough road. Yeah, there's obstacles, there's bumps on the road, there's little pitfalls here and there. But if you can navigate through all that, yeah, at the end of that road is, something better. But that's the gift and the curse, is that you have to go through that road to get to the other side of it. And a lot of people, they don't, they're either blind to it, they don't want to take that road. It's easier to do easier things, man. It's easier to just say, nah, I'm not going to do it because that shit is too tough. It's easier to not want to go to the gym and lift the weights. It's easier to not want to read that book when you go watch Netflix. It's easier to grab a Big Mac instead of, finding some good home cooking or making something that's healthier, that may not be as good or whatever taste wise, but it does your body better. It's easier to drink some soda. I know. Than to have some water. Yeah. See, there you go. He's drinking the fucking Iron Man juice over there. Like, good for him.
Protein shake.
The protein shake. So, once again, besides my little rant right there, just because, again, man, I have somebody that's going through something that's a little bit out of my league as far as advice I can give. And I've been giving my advice that I know to give, and it's true, but, it's tough, man. But I kind of realized that the thing that person's going through, it's not what I'm going through, because they're going through a kind of a tougher road. But, I fall in the same, everybody will fall into the same category of things. So I'm going to start it with, and, chime in, please, man. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. It's never going to come. There is no perfect moment. The only thing that perfect moment that I'm waiting for these stars to line up before I get started or anything like that, the only thing you're doing is giving yourself an excuse to not do it. That first step, the first step is a motherfucker, man. They're all hard, but that first one just seems to be a lot harder than the rest of them. That first step is always difficult, but if you don't even get started on that first step, man, you're not doing anything. So I was that type of person too, that would just be like, all right, I'm just going to wait for this, and then I'm get started. Well, it's Thursday. I'm going to wait for the beginning of the week, Monday, and then I'm going to get started. And then Monday will come around, and I'd be like, well, it was a long day at work. I'll wait for, it's a week long. I'm going to wait for next Monday. And then, just you give yourself outs.
We are part of the procrastination.
That's part of it, man. Like, procrastination is definitely part of it. Again, procrastination is a little bit different than what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is the perfect moment. If you're a procrastinator, more times than not, if you're procrastinating, you know what? Maybe not. You're kind of right about that, because procrastination to me means you have a deadline somewhere. I'm good for procrastinating, but I've never fucked myself procrastinating, because usually I procrastinate on things I have a deadline to. And whether it's like, holy shit, I had 3 months to do it, and it's due by Monday, and it's the weekend. Once I do get cracking on it, I go in. And there hasn't been a moment, God bless, that I haven't procrastinated and come through. It's not a good thing, because I had, if we had a month to do something. But to your point, procrastination can become forever if there is no deadline.
But there's also, like, I think, not want to say a flip to that, but then also like another road is like, sometimes things have to, like, all right, for example, like I'm dying to get out of where I am right now, but like my money ain't right. I have to wait until my money's right or better, and then I can do whatever I want to do. So I don't think that's considered like procrastination, but I just can't make any moves until certain things are lined up properly for me to do so.
That's not, I don't consider that procrastination. That's
or like the perfect moment. I'm going more to like the as far as like the perfect moment. It's like that perfect moment when I can get out of here. But again, I cannot do anything until
If you're in the process of saving, as long as you're saving and not blowing your money just cause, that's not waiting for the perfect moment. You're just in a phase that I find myself in, because trying to get my house fixed and trying to do all these other things, you're just in the middle of the battle. You're in the foxhole. You haven't waved the white flag, but you really can't make too many moves because you're just stuck in the process. But the thing is, like, that deters a lot of people when you're in the process. Because again, like me personally, it's taken a while to shake this mentality out. But my mentality for a very long time has been, I want it now. I want to make this money. Why am I not rich yet? I want to do this. Like, I want to make a podcast. Why don't I have these followers yet? I want to do this. Why am I not here yet? Like, bro, it's only been 5 minutes. Relax.
Yeah,
you know, so you're in that position that I find myself in, which is you're in the process. there's if you're saving money to try to better it, then you're doing what you can do. You're not stuck. You're not bullshitting. You're not, I don't know. If you're taking your money that you're saving and going to the club and, going to the strip club and just there goes your money, like you making it rain. Then you're setting yourself up. Like, not only are you, that's not even procrastinating, you're just going backwards. So
hey, good thing there's not a stilettos out here. I'll tell you that right now.
Say again.
It's a good thing there's no stilettos out here.
Yeah. Sue's rendezvous is not around here.
What's her face? Damn, what was that girl's name?
Melissa.
Ay, Dios mío.
Holy shit, y'all still remember the names. Yeah. Nice.
Yo, dog, we used to go there.
I remember names.
We used to go, we had that place on lock, man. We had it on lock for like a good, maybe like a year, whatever that was. That time that we were going, we had it on lock because we would go there. And I could have sworn one time that Milton and Will, they went, I was there at the door and they were like almost like walking towards the door, but I heard two chicks talking in there like, oh my God, Milton and Will are here. I swear to God. I swear to God. So there was mad times when we would never pay for dances. We were just in there chilling and they would be all flocked around us just hanging out. And Will, am I lying?
Nope. A lot of conversation, especially O'Leary. Oh my gosh. He used to like fuck us up. Oh man. This guy at the door wouldn't charge us. He would just let us go in.
The cross-faced crippler, that chick that used to, whenever she would give you
Melissa.
No, not Melissa. The other one, the one that was like breaking cats' necks. That was like whenever she was doing her lap dance move routine, she was basically just hanging off your neck, so that way when you got up, you just like walking like this, and you can't like your neck is all jammed up.
I could just picture Len in a scissor hold talking basketball with a stripper. Oh, you see that game yesterday? Can't believe that shit.
Yeah, we were down by like 10. My bad. Try to divert the conversation.
No, that's fine. But to my point, that was you, younger you guys, enjoying life. And by all means, enjoy it. Do what you have to do to enjoy life. You're in a position now that, you're trying to handle some things. As long as you're trying to handle what you're handling, again, you're in the process. If you have a 3-year plan, I don't know what, some people have a 5-year plan. Some people have a 1-year plan, like whatever your plans are. Cause I'm assuming, you're setting these goals for yourself. Like you have a plan. If not, then you should go take pen to paper, crunch some numbers, and figure out how long it's going to take you realistically to get out of whatever situation you want to get out of. If your plan calls to be for a 5-year plan, bro, you're in the trenches for 5 years. That's just it.
Yes, exactly.
You're not procrastinating because you're handling whatever your goal is. Just you're now stuck in this 5-year battle to get out of whatever it is you're trying to get out of. Yeah. So I don't call that procrastinating. You could be, not saying you are, but you could be bullshitting. If you're hitting the club, it's like, hey, Len's here. And everybody's like, hey, Len. As soon as you walk in, like the DJ stops, like, shout out to Len. What's up, Len? Welcome to the club.
Tell us about those basketball scores. All right.
Yeah. If it's that, then yeah, you're hindering your progress. So I don't think procrastination, you're not waiting for a perfect time. You're stuck in the moment that you're supposed to be in. Now it's just on you to handle what you have to handle. And a lot of people get fucked up there because they don't have that instant gratification. They're mad that they're in their 5-year plan and they haven't taken care of their business in 3 days, so they go fuck it. And that fucks people up, or that hurts people. That stops them dead in their tracks. And if they ever do decide to start it up again, you now are restarting your 5-year plan. So, as far as what you're going through, as far as what I'm going through, and Will, I'm assuming, because life is life, man. You're in this too. Like, we all have our goals and plans. Just
absolutely
stick with it, because when you stop that progress. I forgot. I think it was like Eric E.T. Thomas, famous motivational speaker. I love that dude. He was like, you take one day off can set you back 3 months. So forget if you take 3 months off, you could be setting yourself back a year. So if you're in the trenches, you're in the foxhole, man, you got to handle it. Like, it sucks to just have to be in that holding pattern, but it's progress. If you're putting money in that bank, it's progress. It's just not coming as quick as you'd want it. It just never does. And that's part of that test that life gives you. It's about endurance, man. This year is a marathon, and it's not a sprint. Taking me a very long time to realize that, because I'm 5-year 5-year marathon, let's go, and I'm just like sprinting. But then you gas yourself out 3 months into it, and you have another 4 years and 9 months to go. So know you're going to be in it for the long haul. Know that anything that's worth anything to you is going to take time, and there is no perfect time to start. You have to start when you have to start. If you have a 5-year plan, don't wait for the perfect, I'm going to start in the summertime, meaning you're in the fucking wintertime. It's just, you have to have a position and start it from there, and that's your goal, and you have to stick with it. So,
right.
The other thing I would say, as far as this list of, again, like, really goes out to my friend, but just anybody trying to get it done, is, and I've said this 100 times, like I've said this on many podcasts, the position of knowing and applying. Like, I'm just going to use you an example, Lynn. You have this plan to get out of your situation. If you know what you have to do, but if you're not taking any steps to anything to get yourself out of that position, you have useless knowledge. You could have the secrets to the world. Well, the secrets include doing this, this, and this, and this. But if you're not doing this, this, and this, and this, then you just have knowledge that means nothing. Knowledge without application is fucking useless knowledge. So, going to my friend's situation, they're saying all the right things. Yeah, I know what I have to do. I know I need to get myself out of this position. I know. All right, but then I called them out on it. All right, well, what are you doing about it? So but after a certain amount of time, like, okay, if you're not applying what you know, you're wasting your own time, and you're wasting this knowledge that you have of what you need to do. So, I've said it a million times before, and I'm going to keep on saying it, because it's just fact, man. No one applying. You could be the smartest person in the world, but if you're not applying that knowledge, you're the dumbest fuck in the room. So, you do your research on things, you figure it out, you have your goal, you don't wait for that perfect opportunity, and then you get going. Take that knowledge and you apply it, because again, like, it's a tough road, but at the end of that road, like I said, man, this life to me is not a beautiful thing. I'm used to, we've said it before on podcasts, like, it's a storm. Like, I found out I need to be running towards a storm. I need the firefight. I could no longer, just kind of chill out in the corner. Like, I have to get up and take these blows that life is going to give, because I've come to realize I need that. It goes to that post that I sent you, Len. Like, you know, some people are just meant to battle it out. You know, I feel like that's me. And again, people go through all kind of shit. I don't hold my battles above anybody else's, because some people have it easier than me and some people have it 1,000 times harder than me. So, you know, we could just only deal with what we can deal with and what's on our plate. So, you know, it's the fire forges, man. You know, you realize that the fire doesn't burn if you, and I said it, like I put it down, like when you embrace it, when you embrace that battle, you know, the storm, what used to be scary because of the lightning and all the other shit, it then becomes soothing. You know, you ever go in front of a storm and you're just actually not nervous, you're just like, oh wow, that looks beautiful. You know, that fire doesn't burn. It actually ends up forging this weapon against life, man. Like the battle doesn't make you war torn anymore. You just kind of get used to it. So, you know, you have to understand that this thing called life. And again, my point of view is probably not the right one, but I don't see it as this beautiful thing. I just see it as this never-ending battle that, again, it's all perspective. I handle all the shit I gotta handle. I'll be seeing things that are a lot more beautiful than what I see them now. You know, it's all perspective. It just depends on how you see it. I feel like I have to go through this battle before I see the utopia. You know, some people aren't like that. More power to them. But, you know, that's what it is, man. You know, perspective.
I see it as waves too. Like, you know, there's always going to be good and bad. You know, like that's why you got to really appreciate when it's good, and then understand that like when it's bad, like you got to fight just as hard and be just as appreciative, because again, when it's bad, those trials and tribulations that you go through is only going to make you better, you know?
I think whatever good times you get are the things that keep you sane for the moment. The good times that you get, they're there to just make you not go crazy. You know, good times are awesome. I think the bad times ultimately defines us. When things are going good, it's a great feeling. You feel great, but you're not building anything. When you go through those shit times and you have to now put your feet to the fire and now you have to run towards that storm, you know, you become something else. You become stronger on it. Like there's no growth in good times. They're fucking awesome. Like I wish I had more good times. I wish we all had better times. Like, but the growth isn't in that. You know, you take the good times for what they are. They're great memories. There's something to hold on to. You know, something when times are down. You have good memories, good times. Like, you know, wasn't the great circumstances, but I got to see family. And for a moment, you know, just being around that family and having everybody embrace each other was great. Like I'll hold that memory as many times as I can. But,
right,
you know, those good times won't define you like the bad times do. And again, that's why I always go back to, like I told you, like I always go back to my nephew, like, don't get comfy, man, because you don't have the world figured out. And life is going to kick you in the nuts. You get kicked enough. You get punched enough. You go into that storm enough. You get burned enough by that fire. You know, when it happens again, you deal with it. You deal with it in a way that's like, you handle like a boss. If you're this ignorance is bliss shit and you're immune to it, you don't see it or you don't want to deal with it. Because a lot of people, they get hard times and they just put it off to the side, they'll throw it under the rug or whatever. But then when real times hit, you just don't know how to act or react. You know, that's not good for the person. It's not good for growth. You know, it's not good in general. It does more damage than anything else.
And it could be a small thing too. And it'll just devastate the person because they're not used to that. Yeah.
Absolutely. Little things that you and me would go, easy money. We'll figure that out. Bang. Like, here's your answer. Or just give me a minute. And that little thing, they'll be running around pulling their hair out. Oh my God, the life is coming to an end. And it's like, yo, bro, this is nothing. Like, this is nothing. Right. Life hasn't even hit you yet. You're worried about a paper cut. People, have arms off their body. Like, and yeah, Will, to your credit, it's, you have to deal with those moments when they come. If not, the littlest things are gonna traumatize you. And it shouldn't. And you have to be above those little things. You can't handle the little things. When the holy shit real life moments come, you're useless to yourself and everybody around you. Yeah. And a lot of times you have to be there for other people. A lot of times, handling shit, if it's a family thing or a couples thing or like whatever, if it's not just on you, more times than not, somebody has to be the person to stand up and absorb all that shit. And not saying it has to be you every single time, but having that thing that you've dealt with things in the past, you're a rock. People are able to lean on you. It does suck. My aunt, who's a fucking warrior, had to do something this past week, and she had to be that. And not just for her, not just for a couple of people, for like an entire family. And, it's like 2-3 days later, she's going through the process of dealing with the emotions that come with it. But at the time, she just couldn't afford to because she had to be that strong person. But she's been through some things in her life that she's able to do it, And you can see the people that have been through some shit and the people in that family who haven't, that, go through the emotions, mourn, do whatever you have to do, but you're useless to everybody around you right now. And there's people that's, if you're going through emotions and you look at my aunt, you're able to hold your head up a little bit easier and feed off of that. And then you turn to somebody who doesn't know that's not handling things well, and you have the opposite effect of that. So, at the end of the day, you want to be that person that's a rock, not just for yourself, but in case need be, the people that's around you that need a strong person to be around. Always easier said than done, but that's why you go through that's what I'm saying, like the bad times define you. So, there's that, man. I would say this. So my next two things are going to contradict each other, but there's a point behind it. And the first thing is nobody's coming to help. Nobody's coming to help you. Like me, I'm trying to get my shit done. Like very small example. Nothing even on any type of level that, on the what my friend is going through or, what other people are going through, but trying to get my house done. I'm out in like 95, 100 degree weather, plucking out these hedge roots because they grow too high and they're a pain in the ass. And I'm trying to just do that so I can put some fencing up. My neighbors, my parents, they're just like, yo, it's too hot, man. Go inside. Like, chill. It's too hot. I'm like, yo, are you going to do it? Like, weather's about to break. If I don't get this up now, it is what it is. Like, if you're not going to do this, nobody's going to do this for me. Right. So understand that whatever you're going to go through, whether it's my friend going through her thing or just anybody going through what they're going through, yo, you're on your own. That's a harsh way to put it. But, I live in a world of harsh reality. As one of my favorite authors, Robert Greene, says, the harsh reality is you would like to see the rainbows and the daffodils and everything's all peachy and life is beautiful. It's like, no, like, yo, there's a battle going on. I live in a harsh reality sense because it just makes it easier when shit hits the ground, shit hits the fan. So the reality is, you're going to be by yourself. Like those things that you're handling, 9.5, 10 times out of 10, you're the one that has to handle it. That's just is what it is. Me telling that person like, yo, you know, you need to handle this. I can tell you everything that I'm telling you. I mean, I was had like a 2-hour conversation with him last time. And I gave 2 hours worth of advice. And before that, it was like another hour and change worth of advice. And then when I saw him for that next time around, I was like, well, did you do anything? I said, well, I tried, but. All right. Yo, no, I can't do this shit for you. I could talk to you all day. And I could tell you the greatest advice I can tell you. But it's on you. You know, I have another friend. They're trying to get a business going. I'm like, yo, I got some dough. I can help you. I can't help you a little bit. Nah, I want to do this on my own. And that goes to the other point. Is the part that contradicts itself. There is help though. Huh?
I was jokingly saying in my head you were going to say, you can't do this on your own. You can't do everything by yourself. But then before you were saying, hey, it's up to you. So that's kind of like contradicting.
So you're right, but that's what it was though. You know, the contradiction is it is solely on you, but there is help available. Right. For my friend whose story I'm not going into, if they admittedly can't do it on their own, there are professionals out there that can help you. Because sometimes you need that. Counseling, therapy, whatever meetings you need to go to, you know, for the other person I'm talking to, you know, I can help you a little bit with what you're trying to do business-wise. Now, the non-contradiction to that is, yeah, the help is there, but it's on you.
Yeah.
If you're not going to counseling, that's on you. You have to go to counseling. If I can help this person with their business, you know, and they accept my help, I haven't done anything because they still have to run their business. You know, if you can have these A, B's, and C's, if somebody does help you out, you still have the legwork to do. So that's the contradiction. You know, it's contradiction, but it's kind of not, because there's help available, but ultimately it's on you. And if you don't handle this shit one way or the other, you're gonna be fucked. You know, I was telling that to the person that's going through some shit. Like, you know, but you know, they're embarrassed. They don't want to go seek help like that. I'm like, yo, you just admitted you can't handle this shit on your own. And you damn sure are just listening to me, but you're not hearing me. And you're not going through the motions that I'm saying. And you can't apply. You know, but you're not applying. All right, you need to see somebody that's on a professional level that can help you. Now, that help is there. But if they're not willing to do it, that part is on them. So even with the help there, shit's still on them. So, you know, there's knowing, there's applying, there's being by yourself, but there's also help available. You know, Will, if you ever need anything, you know I'm here for you in a heartbeat.
Absolutely.
But more times than not, I can help. Len can help. But if it's something that you're trying to do, it's on you. Like it's on me. Like it's on Len. Like it's on everyone. So
this UK rapper just came out with a new album. He's like their Nas. His name is just Dave. That's his rap name, Dave. His album title, I love it. It's just plain and simple, but it hit hard to the point. He called it, "We're All in This Alone Together." And I was like, man, I love that title. We're all in this alone together.
Fucking facts. I do like that title. Damn, I like that title. I'm not even gonna lie. I do like that title. That pretty much summed those things up two that I just said right there. We're all in this alone together.
Yep.
Because nobody, it's all on you. But it's very rare. Like 99.5% needs a helping hand along the way. Even if they do, 99% of legwork on their own, somewhere down the line, somebody gave an assistance somewhere.
Right.
But to what I was saying, it ultimately will fall on the person. I fucking love that title. I do like that. Good job, Dave. Just sounds like a weird name for like, it's not a weird name because it's a normal name, but it's a normal name. Like,
and it's annoying because when you do a search for Dave, like so much shit comes up. I'm like, why couldn't he name himself like Dave something? But
Dave, get Dave from Wendy's and all those other people. Like,
right.
Yeah, that's funny. But I do like that title though. That is a good ass title. That makes me want to hear the song, the album now,
or something from it.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna give that a try now. I gotta figure out a way to.
If you do listen to the song called Clash, him and this guy named Stormzy, who is kind of like.
I know Stormzy.
Kind of like their Jay-Z, huh?
I know Stormzy.
Oh, so he did a track with Stormzy called Clash. They're going back and forth, almost like Jadakiss. Kind of like Jadakiss and Styles P, but it's a good track.
Oh man,
Clash. It's called Clash.
You pulled the trigger early on the segue. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
Hold on.
Let me talk. All right, and I know we've taken a lot of time on this, but I find this to be important. Like the LOX Dipset thing is going to be the fun times that we talk, but this part from my friend, for anybody listening that I know or don't know, just heed these. Not going to call them rules because I don't have it figured out in life yet either. So just those guidelines to just help, and and I only have one more left, and that's motivation. A lot of people, they hear motivation and they have something in their head, and it's really not that. To me, motivation comes down to 3-4 things. Because to me, motivation equals your why. Like motivation is like Voltron. Like these things have to turn into this big thing called motivation. Like it's why, your hunger, your desire, and your discipline. When you put those together, you have motivation. Because motivation to me doesn't come when you need it. You'll be on the couch motivated. You'll be in the car motivated. You'll be in the shower motivated. But then when it's time to do the shit you need to do,
you don't.
That's when the voices come in like, nah, like, yo, just chill, man. Go grab a number 2 supersize, and yo, Netflix is a great series on, or like whatever. To me, like motivation is almost an illusion. It's almost the fucking like a mirage. Because when you really need it and you get close to it, it just kind of disappears on you. It's when you're far away at the distance and you kind of don't need it. That's when you see all the things that you should be doing and want to do and should be taken care of. To me, the ultimate motivation, your why, your desire, your hunger. And again, like discipline, to me is a gigantic part of it. And I say this saying that I'm working on myself too. I am in no fucking way this person that has it all figured out. I just know. And I'm applying. So I don't have the answers like that. I just know when I'm applying. I'm in a better spot now after I started applying all the things I need to apply. Boy, don't look at me as this guy that has it figured out. Because I don't, man. I'm like everybody else. Just trying to get through the battlefield, man. I'm in a foxhole with bullets flying over my head like everybody else.
Yeah.
So you need to have that desire. You need to have that hunger. You need to have a why to go with it. And you need to have discipline to get yourself to the gym, to get yourself after a long day at work. You know, if you're trying to business, you know, because you need the 9 to 5 to pay for shit. You got to pay bills while you're trying to get yourself situated. So when you come home from a tired day at work, well, you still have work to do. You know, on a day like you don't feel like going to the gym, like those are the days when you, to me, like that whole motivation, those things that make motivation, it's always a test when you don't want to do something. And our mind is fight or flight, but a lot of times we're built, and I forgot the term for it, but we always in our head, we try to seek the shelter, psychological thing. We always try to keep ourselves safe, away from things that are hard. But those hard things are what ultimately get you to victory. And it's a fucked up situation because they're always clashing. But that's why I'm, you know, going to what we were saying. Like, you have to go to the storm, because when those tough times hit and you don't want to do something, it makes it easier to do it. If not, then you're in a situation that, okay, times are tough. I want to go to the gym. Nah. Get home from work. Want to work on this business. Nah. And like we said way earlier, man, like those 3-4 days, that week that you took off could have cost you like 3, 4, 5 months of your game plan. So, you know, I'm gonna end it there because we've been talking about it for a minute, but that motivation, man, it's a beautiful thing, but I don't think it's what everybody thinks it is.
Right.
And, you know, find your why, have desire, find your discipline. Because again, I feel like I'm working on my discipline, but that self-discipline is a gigantic, that I'll form the head, and the head is a self-discipline. You know, so to everybody going through it, man, you know, to my friend going through it, and at the end of the day, man, I wish everybody the best, but the moral of this whole story that we're talking about is it's going to be on you. Whether you want to admit it, whether you don't, whether, you know, whatever it is. You got people looking up at you. You know, it's ultimately on you. And what you're going to get is what you put into it. So, yeah.
I want to add one more thing to that. So
please do.
I want to say that I think where a lot of people confuse things about motivation is feeling versus action. I think most people identify motivation with a feeling. Like, you could feel motivated to do something, but until you take that action, I think the action is more the motivation. And people just think, oh, I'm motivated, you know, I want to do this, I want to do that, but are you going to do it? So I think people confuse motivation with a feeling rather than an action. It's kind of like about a month ago, I was talking to someone, and I was going to the gym every day, and they were like, damn, you go to the gym every day? And I was like, yeah, I even go when I don't want to. And what I do is, on the days that I don't want to and I still go, just to keep my mind mentally in that routine of just going, kind of like on autopilot, just go. I just lighten the workout. Like, I don't go hard every day. I just like lighten it up. So in that case, you know, motivation is an action, not a feeling. I mean, that's the way I see it.
I 1000% agree with you. And to add to that, you'll get the feeling of being motivated after you do the action.
There you go.
You'll get the accomplishment in. It goes back to knowing and applying. That feeling of motivation is the knowing part of it. You apply it. You go to the gym when you don't want to, and you fucking grind out that day. I promise you'll feel better. You accomplished something. You went through the storm. And in turn, that feeling of motivation is going to be there even more.
Yep.
So definitely to your credit, that's 1,000% correct. Thank you.
All right.
So, I mean, unless anybody else has anything to add, I mean, I think, again, like, we could say whatever we could say for as long as we could say it, man. But if people get something out of it and apply it, more power to them. You know, good luck to you guys. If you just want to hear it, you know, good luck to you on that way too. So with that said, let's turn it down a little bit. That was on the more serious side of things. So let's talk. It's a couple weeks past due, but being the Yonkers guys that we are, we got to see a hometown mollywhopping. I had Bevan on, and we went over this briefly. I said I don't see any other way of this going other than a complete beating. And you know, he brought up a couple points to Dipset. And I was like, nah, credit to what you're saying. I'm like, but I don't see this going any other way. And it wasn't even closer than I thought it was gonna be. That shit was Tyson versus a kindergartner.
It was the whole setup, man. It was the whole setup of it. Just like
I'll admit to this. I was one of those people that said, when I was thinking about it, I said, let me see, Dipset has the more radio stuff. So I said I gave the edge to Dipset. But once I saw the whole thing, I was like, wow, LOX demolished them. So I will admit that at the beginning, I did think Dipset was going to win, but you know, obviously the LOX demolished them.
I thought it was going to be a mollywhopping based off of this. LOX have been around since the 90s and is still prevalent. Dipset had their run, and then that was it. I always saw Dipset as Cam with his pewters Putin, and that's it. Jewels to me was okay. Jim Jones to me was okay.
He's definitely gotten better since okay. He's gotten a lot better, Jim Jones.
I think
his lyrics,
a lot better.
When they were Dipset at its fullest, when it was Dipset the movement, I think they got lazy with the pen because they could pretty much just throw up on a track and it would be popping because they would have a crazy beat to go with it. So I think their pen got a little lazy, which is why I wasn't a huge Dipset fan. LOX are lyrical beasts.
Yep.
Top 10 to me. Kiss and Styles are in my top 10. Top 30, I have Sheek in there too. That's no disrespect to Sheek, because Sheek is still he's silverback gorilla, man. Like, he still means something. Like, there's no LOX without Sheek. So
right.
Sheek is an animal. I just have Kiss and Styles, and I'm the type that I like Styles a little bit more than Kiss. That's just my preference. Like, to me, if I just put Styles on just a little bit closer to the number one than Kiss, but it's like the next one up. As far as groups go, to me, it's Wu-Tang and then LOX, 1 and 1A, like, and everybody else after that. So I could not see it any other way. It was Jordan, Pippen, and Rodman, you know, against whoever. Like, I just kind of saw how it went. Not even understanding it was going to be that much of a beating. Here's why I knew it was over to me before it started. Here's why I really, really knew where it was over to me before it started. So, they had Michael Buffer announce everybody.
Oh, that was dope. Yeah,
that shit was woo. Yeah. So when he said, you know, their first album, Money, Power, Respect, from Yonkers, New York, the LOX, and they panned over to the LOX, and I saw Styles beating his chest like ready for war. I said, Dipset's in trouble. before one verse came out, and they had the DMX intro instrumental playing. Like, I saw how they looked coming out, and when Styles was pounding his chest, I said, "Oh my God, Dipset's in trouble." The second part was while they were waiting for Dipset to come out, and there was talk that Cam wasn't gonna come out. Like, he's actually changed his mind and he was gonna leave. Like, I don't know, maybe that was part of the delay, but when Styles grabbed the mic and pretty much was like, "Get Dipset the fuck out here now," I said, "Oh my God, it's over." I'm like, it is over.
As much as I love Roy Jones, but it reminded me of when Tarver was like, "No more running now, huh, Roy?" or some shit like that, wherever he's talking shit in the ring before they fought. I was like, shit.
Don't bring that up. That hurts my soul.
I hate to trust me. You're talking to the biggest Roy Jones fan there is. And that in that moment, I was like, damn.
To me,
shit might be serious right now.
To me, that was every Tyson before Buster Douglas. Like, you know, when the ref got both fighters up and he's talking to them both, and every fighter that's fighting Tyson does some dumb shit, and Tyson just has a straight face and his eyes are the only thing that's moving. He's just looking at the next boxer. You know, that to me, that's what all of that reminded me of. So they came out, and from jump, the LOX just dismantled and picked apart Dipset. And this goes to show everybody: practice, rehearse, practice, do what you have to do, because the LOX took it as a competition and they were training for this thing like Rocky.
Yep. I don't think Dipset did any rehearsal, I think Dipset went in there thinking, "Oh, we got this. We got the radio smashes. We're not rehearsing. We're not doing anything. We're just showing up and we're winning."
That wasn't a good game plan, as it turned out. So,
Numbers competition that has more a deeper catalog and has better rapping quality than you.
Right.
From the 90s to right that day of the Verzuz, they had tracks galore. They had mixtapes galore. They had they just had tracks on tracks for every fucking year. Every month of every year.
I don't think I've ever heard a bullshit track from Kiss. I can't speak to Styles and maybe Styles too. Not so much Sheek, but definitely Kiss and Styles. I've never heard like like you have like sometimes you have like those throwaway verses where you do like three or four bars on the end of an R&B song or some shit like that.
Yeah,
I've never heard
hard every time.
I've never heard a bad one from either of them.
Yeah,
never.
Yeah,
never. But then, like kind of like you said, you started off, and I started to cut you off. But like, then Cam will have like the Teletubby shit to like the computer.
I get the powders casting. Yeah, exactly.
I get the right away.
And to me, though, I'm sorry to cut you off. To me, Cam is a legend to me. He's a Hall of Famer.
And they didn't even play. He didn't. There was other joints that they should have played. That I'm surprised they didn't play.
But before I go on,
change is gonna come. The shit, come on, man. How do you? I mean, I don't know how that would fit in with all that they were playing. But the change gonna come by Cam. They didn't even play that. That shit was hard.
So before we actually go into what I wanted to say, shout out to DJ Technician.
Oh,
because the DJs were the quarterbacks of that.
True. Very true.
And holy shit, the LOX had motherfucking Tom Brady on their side. And this is where I knew they were like, so in the beginning, before the Verzuz started up, the DJs just kind of doing their thing to warm up the crowd. And Technician played every New York anthem or Nas or Wu or Mob, play some shit from Beans and Freeway, Jay-Z. They were playing shit, DMX. They were Biggie. Like, they were playing everything. That guy, a Technician, was playing everything. And he had the crowd ready for what was about to happen. And then somewhere along the line, they switched off.
That mind state.
Yes. Yep. Then somewhere along the line, they switched off to the Dipset DJ. He was playing some new age down south shit, and you could just tell the vibe got sucked out of the crowd when that DJ took over to do what he had to do.
Right.
Technician was DJing during the training sessions that the LOX were having, and they set up a game plan.
What to say?
Have a game plan.
Preparation, man.
Proper.
Okay. No, so like one of the post interviews, like Kiss and on the Hot 97 interview, they were saying like we knew that they were gonna try to do certain things that we had the clips ready for them. You know, like as soon as they said, "Oh, how come Sheek ain't rapping?" They throw on the Reservoir Dogs track.
Yep.
You know, and other shit, and then like. Again, how they broke it down and how they did it, again, it all comes down to preparation. They really put in the time and effort to make sure that they had shit or whatever they try to counter them with.
I was taught this at a young age by my cousin. And certain things stick with you, and this one stuck with me. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance.
Wow.
A lot of P's. Oh.
The 6 P's in life. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. And in no way else was it shown to be 100% accurate than right then and there, because they had a bullet for everything that Dipset threw at them.
Yep.
So just to even start arguing about who's going to start. And Yonkers is obviously from New York, but Harlem's a little bit close to the city. So Cam, we're from Harlem. We're the home team. You guys start. Yeah, from Yonkers, like da. It was Harlem. This is New York. And Kiss was ready, because before that drop, first thing out of Kiss' mouth was, excuse me, got something stuck in my throat.
Let me clear.
Sorry. First thing out of Kiss's mouth was, "Damn, you live in Miami right now. Drop that beat." And the crowd was like, "Oh," and then they dropped "Fuck You." And it was just
way to start off too, man.
And then
you could have either started with that or ended with that. That's how dope that shit was.
Yeah.
And it just fits perfectly.
It fit perfectly.
If you hope we wouldn't go first, fuck you.
Then they were like, "Well, she can't even spin." And it's funny because after like 2 tracks, Cam did like 5 straight Dipset songs. These dudes were in the background because they got smoked early. She doesn't rhyme anymore. You know, she doesn't rhyme. Boom, got on Reservoir Dogs and murdered it. That's what I'm saying. She gets slept on only because Kiss and Styles are so great that it's like Wu-Tang and Inspector Deck. Like you got Ghost, you got Ray, you got Meth, you got all these other MCs, and Inspector Deck is a fucking legend, but he's not Method Man, he's not Raekwon, he's not Ghost, so you know he gets put in the back burner.
Right.
You got Kiss, you got Styles, but yo, Sheek gets it in. Sheek is a beast. And people forget that, and then he comes with something like Reservoir Dogs and reminds everybody and shut them down. Yo, Sheek ain't even spitting. Boom. Here's a track that's probably better than all your shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then what they come out with? Then Jim Jones did Ballin'. And that's hot. That was a good track.
There's a few joints that I was like, and I think we were in the group text that I had, like I was saying like, yo, there's just certain joints that I know that it's gonna be hard. Either you're gonna tie, I don't know if you're gonna lose, but you're gonna definitely come close to tying, or I mean that's the closest it's gonna be, because like they have some amazing joints, man.
Goes back to the prep work, because they were waiting for that. Because the second Ballin' came on, Kiss was like, "Yeah, we got something for that right after you guys go."
Because they didn't even play Just Fire.
Bro, they didn't play.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, I don't know how you fucking missed that verse, and how do you?
Yeah,
come on, man, that beat, just the beat alone could make you win.
So
hell yeah.
Ballin' played, and then the LOX immediately came back and washed it with Benjamin's. That beat, bam, 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 like when that comes on.
High school. Oh man. Yeah.
Like what that song meant during that era. Like, yo, bowling's hot, but it wasn't better than Benjamin's. Like they planned that out perfectly. They like bowling is a good track.
Great track.
Yep.
It's a great track.
Fucking, and as a Cowboys fan, I fucking hated that shit. Oh my god, that I fucking hate that shit. But it's a dope track.
It always comes back to the Cowboys.
Sports.
It always does.
It does.
And bowling is a great hip hop track. You need an ace to drop to counter that. And they came with Benjamin's. And the only thing they could say is, well, you did that track with Diddy. You did. And that's the other thing that because my boy Bevan was saying, yo, they did a song with Lil Wayne back in the days. I'm like, bro, Kiss did a song with Lil Wayne. D-Block did a song with Eminem. This shit with Biggie. This shit with Jay-Z. This shit with Beans. This shit with Freeway. Like the list of collabs. And they didn't bring out Mace, which they said they were thinking about doing just to piss these dudes off.
That would have been dope.
Yeah, that would have been fucking crazy.
They just kept it them three.
And then spit one of their oh man, what's that freestyle they got? Damn, I forgot the name of the freestyle, but it's all them Mace, and they're all fucking freestyling for like 8 minutes or whatever it is. One of them long ass freestyles where everybody's going. I'm like, come on, man. Come on.
Len's still going. Yo, it was this greatest thing I've ever heard. I forgot what it was though. Len's still doing that.
Yeah. I can't remember the. Yeah,
I heard the greatest thing I ever heard, but I forgot what it's called though.
Yeah, you all got to hear this, but I can't tell you what it is.
Because I don't know. Guys, I know the key to life. I forgot though. Sorry, guys. Sorry. So they did that, and we're gonna wrap this up though in a little bit, unless anybody else has anything to add. So I was waiting for this. Even I was waiting for this. Jewels is a fool for this one.
Oh my gosh!
You already know what I'm gonna say.
Yep.
Like you want to talk about setting yourself up. So they play whatever. Hey Ma, one of those fucking songs that Dipset does. And Jewels had the audacity, and I know they were just salivating when they heard this. They said, you must not like women. You ain't got nothing for the women. You think we rhyming in Alcatraz or something? And Kiss had to remind everybody they have Grammys. They ain't gonna be Grammys for We Are the Streets because that's some hood shit. They got Grammys for songs. Bro, that Mariah Carey song, Ride or Die Chick, what was the Jenny from the Block song. They didn't even bust out the Mona Lisa, which is the one I want to hear. The joint with Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Oh, if they would have did that.
Or the Kiss joint with Mariah, like the KISS. Yeah.
They dropped a medley. And Kiss was like, we got Grammys. Say, Jewel must have bumped his head or something.
It was a planted comment. It feels like, because I mean, if it wasn't just off the cuff, you would kind of feel like it was a setup to kind of put them in that mode. But
every weak little jab that Dipset threw, LOX had a Dragon Ball Z, like something that threw him through a mountain, something like that. So that was just amazing to see.
I'm glad that they got the recognition that they fucking deserve, man. And they're still getting it because they've been in the game for a fucking long ass time, man. And again, some of their projects might not be 10s out of 10s, but they're at least fucking
quality
7s, 8s, up there. And
it's all quality.
They've never missed, man. Never missed.
That Kiss freestyle that everybody's on his dick for right now.
Mad old.
mad old. People thought that he made that up for Dipset. We were like, yo, that shit is like 10 years old. Like,
to a Yonkers native, that was like that was like next to your bottle of Similac.
That's just. But they didn't know. Now they know. Now it's good to see them get their roses now. So much so that Yonkers gave him the key to the city, which is fucking awesome.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was wild. Yep.
That is amazing. Like, they got the key to the city off of Verzuz battle. Only in Yonkers, man. Hometown. Stand apart.
You gotta capitalize when you can.
So, we're just to wrap this up, man. To the LOX.
Thank you.
Sheek, Styles, Kiss. Thank you. You guys are the hometown team. You guys are the inspiration.
Soundtrack of our lives.
Soundtrack of our lives. Thank you for what you've meant to us on a hip hop level and coming from Yonkers on an inspirational level. Again, you've been a part of our lives, just as much as anything else, like family. You've been a part of our lives like family. So to the LOX.
I almost lost my life trying to get one of their tapes when that's how much I fucking love them, man. But this cat told me one day, don't be talking to me about no mixtapes. And I thought I was gonna lose my life to the Benjamins beat.
You got murdered to a beat.
Oh my God. And I would have took it. I'm like, all right, at least it's to the Benjamins beat. I was like, all right.
At least you would have went out to the LOX. There you go.
Yeah.
So to the LOX, Yonkers, Kiss, Styles, Sheek, R, D-block, thank you guys. You guys are awesome. Rest in peace, DMX. Always got to throw up the X on that.
Oh yeah.
And
one more thing. Have you guys ever noticed that when you go someplace out of town and then you just say you're from Yonkers, how you feel like your cred kind of gets jumped up a little bit? You might not have been involved in like certain type of way of living and all that, but just from you saying that you're from Yonkers.
There's a stigma that comes with living in Yonkers.
Yeah.
Depending on, it's all perspective, so it could be good, could be bad. Just growing up where we grew up, it is what it is. So I know 2 or 3 people that in idle conversation, they're from PA. And I tell them I'm from Yonkers, and all of them go, "You're from Yonkers?" I'm like, "Yeah." And none of them have a good story about being in Yonkers. But that's what, it's home. So, I just sit back and chuckle because that's home sweet home to me, So does cred go up a little bit? I don't really count anything like that. I know what you're saying, though. I know what you're saying. But
I think it's superficial credit, because like people who don't even know Yonkers or whatever, they hear Yonkers and automatically think DMX, and then that automatically puts you a little bit up there. But it's superficial.
People think 2 things when you say you're from Yonkers. Either one, it's DMX, LOX, and then they have those things in their head, or it's 2, oh, you're from upstate New York. And you're like, no, like you could literally throw a pebble into the Bronx. Like, what are you talking about? So it's either one or the other. You either have to explain
where exactly
it is, or you have to just go, yeah, home of the brave. And, go give them a bark one time. And, So, yeah. So, gentlemen, I want to thank you for hanging out with me.
No doubt.
No doubt.
Let's, so much fun. Let's do it again.
I'm down.
All right. Sounds good. So, unless anybody has anything else to add, Landos, Mr. William, I am Paul.
Yep.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. LOX, stand up. Young, stand up. And, for the first part of it, hope you get something out of it, man. Because, at the end of the day, we poke fun, but we also try to help people out in life. I find myself in life now trying to help other people out in the sense of just with my experiences in life. So if you get anything from what we talked about, I hope you do. If not, put somebody on that maybe needs to hear it. And that's it, man. So peace.
Peace. America.
Bye.